everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my birthday book haul. So this is kind of an impromptu vlog that I was not planning on filming this week, but I decided to do something for my birthday. I didn't intend to do this way, but you know, as I was sitting there on Friday night, so this was on the 15th, going, you know what, if you're going to go into the city and you're going to go buy books, because I was planning on going into Readings Kids and just getting a whole stack of junior fiction because there's a project that I'm working on. You might as well, you know, just go to a few other bookstores. And then I remembered that I had the updated Walking the City of Literature map. Now I have done this before. So one thing you need to know about Melbourne is we have a lot of titles. We are the sporting capital of Australia. We are the culture capital of Australia. And we are also the city of literature. All of those are well-deserved titles. I'm not going to dispute them because I think we are incredibly fortunate here in Melbourne. We have some of the best range of culture and definitely sport is a massive thing. I mean, it's a major thing around Australia, but here in Melbourne, like you can't throw a stone without hitting something sport related. We also happen to have a lot of bookstores and bookish places and libraries in our central business district. So today I am going to be going into the CBD and also just slightly out of it to go to a couple of bookstores. While I'm not going to try and hit everything on the City of Literature walk, because there's like 26 places and I'm not doing that. I don't have the energy for it. I have tried that before and I was just exhausted. I am planning on going to a few different places. So this is the map of the CBD and all of the little red circles are various bookstores, comic shops, anime places, libraries, etc. And I am planning on going to, well, I'm going to try and go to City Basement Books, which is a secondhand bookstore. I don't know if I'll get there because I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do it as I get into the city or as I come out. And typically speaking, I've yet to buy anything at City Basement Books, but I'm curious now with the rise of TikTok to see if the romance section has expanded past 50 Shades of Grey. So I'm curious to see that. I will definitely be going to Dimmicks, which is like the mothership for book nerds in Melbourne. I'm definitely going to try and go to Hill of Content and also the Paperback Bookshop. I know these names mean absolutely nothing to all of you overseas, but you know what, if you're interested, you can look them up. I would like to try and get to the Koori Heritage Trust Bookshop, which is in Fed Square. I might try and do that first thing because I've never been there before and it'd be nice to get an Indigenous book on my birthday weekend. I will try and go to QBD Books in Emporium. There's also a Readings at QBD, but because I'm planning on going to Readings in Carlton, which if I flip the map over to the other side, this is the, as you move out of Melbourne. So, where is it? So this grey section here is this side of the map. That's the central business district. And then as you go out in surrounding suburbs, there's even more bookish places. I am planning on going here because this is where Readings Kids is and also where Readings the original store is. There is a Readings in the CBD, but if I go to Readings in Carlton, I won't necessarily go, oh, well, maybe I will go to the one in Emporium. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling and how sore my feet are. But the other thing that I want to try and find today, there is a little library in Melbourne Central and I have not seen where it's moved to. So I'm also planning on doing that. But yes, as I said, I'm not going to try and hit everything. I've actually put aside money for this to be able to spend whatever I feel like today. And that is not to mean that I will, you know, I'm not going to go completely wild, but I will probably go wilder than I have in a little while in bookstores. Probably mostly kids books because a lot of the adult titles that I'm looking for, they're independent titles, so they don't typically stock them, but I want to go and see what's in other places. It's kind of going to be like a little birthday treat for myself and I thought I would bring you along. I don't know how much vlog footage I'll get because it is a little bit weird, but what I'll try and do is at least the storefront and some of the inside of the store. And we'll see how I go. Welcome on this journey of potential madness. This is like half an hour's worth of pre-planning. And the last time I did this, I mentally prepared myself for days. So this could go very, very badly. But at least it's a beautiful day outside. The sun is shining and it will be nice. It will be a nice trip out. It is my birthday. So I'm going to film this on the 16th of September. My birthday is on the 17th and this will probably go up at the end of the week. And I suppose in a lot of ways, this is a good way for me to add things to my wish list. So I can look and perhaps not buy. Let's get on with the City of Literature walk.
All your stuff away and check out for the day. There's no time to waste when it's 100 degrees. Burns under my feet. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt gets another chance. Pretty people holding hands, uplifted by the night, the way that it should be. Can let it slip away, 'cause this might be our final summer day. There's a heat wave, there's a heat wave rolling in. There's a heat wave, yeah. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a party in the streets and the city's on fire. There's a heat wave rolling in. I've been losing sleep, what to do? Could somebody come and take me away? I've been in the deep without you, and I got it in my head night and day. But we are one step closer. We're all in this together. Put your hand in mine. Yeah, we are one step closer. Can you feel it, baby? It's the end of the line. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, moving on the world. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, stand strong. It looks like we. It looks like we. Yeah, it looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, stand strong. It looks like we made it. Wake me from this dream I've been in. I need to get in closer to you. I swear you might succeed. Oh baby, I've been waiting for you. Now we are one step closer. We're all in this together. Put your hand in mine. Yeah, we are one step closer. Can you feel it, baby? It's the end of the line. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going.
It may not seem like it, but I have been out in the city for 5 hours. It is much later in the day now, so that's why the lighting is a little bit different, and I am a disheveled mess. I literally just got home and decided that I would film my little show and tell of my outing. So I took as many clips as I could. They were very short because it's very weird videoing in shops. People think that you're strange. So I just tried to get what I could. So as I said, I was in the city for 5 hours. I have walked about 13,500 steps today. My feet are killing me. If you are a thick thighs girly, you know the state of my thighs at the minute. That is not fun, but it was a beautiful day. It was really, really lovely. My plan when I went to Lygon Street, which is when I went to the 2 reading stores, was to come back and get gelati, except my favourite gelati store was closed and none of the others were open, so I didn't get gelati, but I did get a boost juice on the way home, and I got my favourite lemon crush, which is just the best boost juice drink ever. And I'm glad that I got it, because when I got to the train station to come back home, there were delays because apparently there was some police issues in Collingwood, so the trains were stopped. But it's fine. I got home. We are here now. And next to me, I have a disturbing amount of things. Let's be real. This is a good case, bad case scenario, but this is what I decided to do for my birthday. So I'm really not all that apologetic about it. So the first place I went to was City Basement Books, which is a secondhand bookstore in Melbourne. I think it's the biggest secondhand bookstore in Melbourne. And I got 2 things while I was there. So I found a copy of a Cindy Gerard novel. This one is Into the Dark, The Bodyguards. And this is book 6 in a series, but it'll be one of those you can read it as a standalone series. Cindy Gerard writes romantic suspense. I have read at least one, maybe 2 of her books before, and I really enjoyed them. So I thought this is kind of fun. This was the only thing in the romance section that I was particularly interested in. And what the hell, let's give that one a shot. And then in the children's section, I also found Esther's Rainbow by Kane and Sara Acton, who I love these author combos, but I didn't own a copy of this book, so I'm adding it to my picture book collection. After that, I went back to Federation Square, which is opposite Flinders Street, our main big train station in Melbourne. And Fed Square has a whole lot of things in there. There's Acme, there is the Koori Heritage Trust, which was closed, but they had a pop-up store, and I was particularly going there to see if they had any Indigenous books. So I did buy things at the Koori Heritage Trust. So I found this book, Yurri's Birthday. This is by Dr. Sue Atkinson and illustrated by Annette Sachs. And it's part of the Yarn Strong Sister series. I just had to get this one because it was birthday and it's my birthday this weekend. So I thought that was fun. And I love the illustrations in this because it's very much collage and 3D collage and it's cool. I'm looking forward to reading this. I also bought myself this gorgeous notebook while I was there. I think the artist is Emma Stenhouse, but the reason I got it is because it is blank. Like, it's quite thick paper, it is beautiful quality, and I'm always on the lookout for blank notebooks, and this one, as I said, is just stunning. So the artwork on the front is called Finding My Way Home, and it was originally done in acrylic on canvas. I loved finding this, and the other thing that I got while I was there is this pin. So, yay. That will go on my work lanyard. After that, I went to Carlton. So I left the CBD and went up to Carlton to Lygon Street where the 2 Readings stores are. So there's the original Readings store, which has all of their adult books, and then Readings Kids, which is next door. This is where I did the most damage. In my defense, this was always where I was going to do the most damage because, as I said at the start of the video, I'm planning on doing a kids book project thing for my other channel and also for work. So this kind of counts as double work / YouTube stuff, but the majority of things in here are kids books. I will start with the one that is not the kids book because there's only one of them, and that is the Jaguar by Sara Holland-Batt. This was the Stella Prize winner for 2023. It is a book of poetry, or it's a verse novel, I don't know. Anyway, it's poetry and verse, so I thought, you know what? I very rarely pick up literary prize winners, but this sounds like it would be kind of interesting. And then this was my damage in Readings Kids. I got one picture book, and this is Bundjil, The Creation Story. This is by Carolyn Briggs. And the reason I picked this up is because it is a picture book and collection of stories in the Boonwurrung language group, which is the language group, or one of the language groups from Melbourne. And I don't often find those books, so I was really excited that there were 3 of them, 3 different collections of stories, and I would like to get them, so they're going to go onto my wish list, and if I get any vouchers or anything for my birthday tomorrow, they will probably go towards getting the rest of these. I'm so excited to have this one, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Just taking off a sale sticker. So this was in their sale section. This is The Heart of the Bubble by Trace Balla. This one kind of looks a little bit like a zine, but it's a comic, and this is a story set during the pandemic, but I got it mostly because it was Trace Balla and I am interested in reading more of their works. I got one middle fiction book, The Witch's Boy by Kelly Barnhill. I love Kelly Barnhill and I have been meaning to pick up more of her middle grade books, so I got this one because I thought this would be fun to read in October. And then I got a stack of junior fiction, and this is sort of a project that I'm working on. So I picked up a copy of Uncle Xbox by Jared Thomas. This is an Indigenous author, and a short chapter book, which I want to read and see if that will be a good book club book for school. I also got Etta and the Octopus by Zana Fraillon, and with pictures by Andrew Joyner. I got this one because it's Zana Fraillon and I love Zana Fraillon's writing. I also got Dog Star by Megan Shepherd. This one I picked up because it's based on a true story and it's about Laika. So it's set in Moscow, and I'm pretty sure this is Laika the dog that went into space. So very intrigued to read this story. I got Out of This World by Sonya Spreen Bates. Again, I got this one because this one is a sci-fi junior fiction, or actually it's probably more middle fiction novel, and I'm very intrigued. Like, finding actual genuine sci-fi books or books set in space or things like that, kind of hard. So I wanted to get that one. I also got Dirran by Merrison and Hakea Hustler. I've read a few books by this duo, and this one is a short little chapter book. So again, another one I'm trying out to see if this will fit into my junior book club series. And I know that this is a very old series, Ramona, but I've not read it, and I saw it and thought, you know what, let's just try one. So I decided to get Ramona the Brave, again, just because it's a short early chapter book. So yes, that's the rest of my readings haul. After readings, I went back to Melbourne Central. I went and found the little library and I had a quick look there. There wasn't really anything that piqued my fancy, but at least I found it and I know where it is now. After that, I went from Melbourne Central to Emporium. So Melbourne Central is a train station, but it also kind of has a shopping centre feel to it. And then it also links with another shopping complex next door called Emporium. And I was going to Emporium to go to QBD, which is another bookstore, but Kiki K was next to it. And I found these two notepads for $5. Like these were together $5, so got those. Haven't been to Kiki K for ages. I used to go there all the time when I was doing planner stuff. Like that was my go-to place here. But now I don't go there because I try not to buy too much stationery, but notepads always come in handy. After that, I went to QBD and I ended up picking up the Atlas 6 by Olivie Blake. I've been meaning to try Olivie Blake, and yes, I know this is fantasy and we all know my thoughts and feelings on fantasy, but I also know that Olivie Blake writes queer characters really well. So I got this one because it was on sale, less than half price, and it has beautiful gold foiling, and I am intrigued by it, and I think that will help that I'm actually interested in reading it. I'm also interested in reading, it might be her newest book. It's got a green cover. Anyway, that one sounds great. Perfect for Halloween and spooky season. So I'm going to try that. And then because pretty much all of my friends have read and loved this, I picked up Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez because I haven't read it yet. So I bought a traditionally published romance, not secondhand. Then I went for a wander up to Hill of Content and also the paperback bookshop. I didn't buy anything in the paperback bookshop, just by that stage I was exhausted, tired, and my feet were hurting. But I did get another picture book in Hill of Content, and this was Dry to Dry, The Seasons of Kakadu by Pamela Freeman and Liz Anelli. This was a winner for the Children's Book Council Awards, but I have not read it yet and I don't own a copy of it. It's set in the Kakadu National Park. So again, very interested in picking this up sooner rather than later. And then finally, I went to, as I've called it, the mothership of the bookstores in Melbourne for book nerds, and that is Dymocks. It is our big underground bookstore. It is lovely. You go down the escalators and all you see is books and gifts everywhere, and it's just delightful. And I did get a romance, and then I got some other things that people are probably just going to think I'm a bit weird for what I picked up. But anyway, I actually had a few more things in hand, but I put them back because I do think I am getting some book vouchers from family, so I'm leaving my options open for things to pick up. But I did get a copy of With Love from Cold World because it was on sale, so why not? Let's get a copy of it. I know that Robyn really loved this, so I'm intrigued. I like this cover. Like, this cover appeals to me. This is so random, and this is because of the author. So earlier I told you I got The Witch's Boy by Kelly Barnhill, and then in the adult sci-fi fantasy section I found this novella by Kelly Barnhill, The Crane Husband. I don't know anything about it. I just love Kelly Barnhill. So it's a novella, it's fun, it's hardback. I like little books like this. They make me happy. Look, I'm expanding my reading tastes from just purely romance. And let's face it, if I'm going to read something other than romance, it's going to need to be short. And then the last two I picked up for a project that I am going to be doing hopefully soon. I don't know, at some point. Anyway, these books are on my radar for that project. So I have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. I have read T. Kingfisher before, and also Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valenti. And I have not read Catherine M. Valenti in a long time. These are little novella length. All right, so that is everything that I picked up from my City of Literature walk. I did get 2 gifts in the mail from Shay. So I got a copy of Sinbin by Tegan Hunter, as well as Ascendant by Tal Bauer. So I've read this one, I haven't read this yet. So thank you again to Shay, because these made my day when they turned up. And I'm not quite sure if this is the end of my birthday book haul. So I am tucking back in with the rest of the birthday book haul, which just keeps on going. And yeah, I've been through the wars this morning, so I had to have blood taken, and I now have a blood pressure monitor on that doesn't seem to be working because it keeps coming up with an error, but I have to wear it for 24 hours. So anyway, we're going to keep going. I ordered myself a physical copy of Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reed because I absolutely loved this book when I read it the other week. And also this was the second Olivie Blake. This was actually the one that Lianne was talking about that I got really excited about. So I bought a copy of it because I found it much cheaper online than I could find in the store. Then there is a box of, well, mostly kids titles that I had already ordered off Amazon. Again, this is just continuing that series of Vine books that I'm trying for work, plus a few other bits and pieces that I was interested in. So the non-kids related one include This All Come Back Now, which is an anthology. This is edited by Michaela Saunders. It is an anthology of First Nations speculative fiction. I have a project in November for this. I also have Unlimited Futures. This is another anthology. This is speculative, visionary black and black fiction. So black as in BLAK, which is Australian Indigenous, and BLACK, which is other black communities. I'm looking forward to this. Claire G. Coleman is in this one, and I think she's the only author I've read off of this list. Oh no, Amberlynn Quay-Mulliner is in here too, and she's one of my favourite writers. Continuing my First Nations, but this time make it kids, I have My Place by Sally Morgan. This is the younger readers edition, which is quite large. I didn't think it was going to be this big, but I haven't read My Place yet, so that's going on the list. I also picked up a copy of Willowdean by Catherine Applegate. Catherine Applegate wrote Otter and a few other books that I have read, and I am very intrigued by this one, and this just has a super cute cover. And then one of my other potential book club books is the 27th Annual African Hippopotamus Race by Maurice Lurie. This was recommended to me by one of my trainers that I work with in literacy, so I grabbed a copy of that. Then I have a parcel that I ordered from Saxon James. So Saxon James had released the illustrated covers of her Accidental Love series, and they kind of match the Divorced Men's Club series books, which I love those covers so much. So there is The Husband Hoax and Not Dating Material, which is the one I've read most recently. But the cool thing about this, aside from having the illustrated covers and the fact that they are signed, is that they both come with transparent overlays. So these are the ones for The Husband Hoax. So this is Big Bertha, the house where they all live. And there is something they do called the taco hunt. This does also have chapter decorative pages. And then in Not Dating Material, we have, oops, can I get them out? These are our two overlays. And that is the chapter artwork. There's a different one. And then there's also a little swag bag. So there's Auntie Agatha's secret recipe. There's a little recipe card there. There's also some more post-it notes, a pen and a highlighter. And that's really cool. And the last thing I thought I would show you is an order that I got from Bookish and Spice, which is a bookish merch store here in Australia. So first up, I got this mug, and it has tropes all around the outside. And I love it. There's a couple, I think there's two different colors for this, but I got the pink one. I also got a t-shirt that says "Why Choose," because I actually love this design. I think this is amazing. And they also have stickers, and I've already put some on to my Kindles. Okay, the "Why Choose" sticker is one. This book stack, which is another tropes sticker, and then this is the trope sticker that is on the mug. So yes, I will cut back to past me for the final wrap up. Thank you to everyone who reached out and sent me birthday wishes over my birthday weekend, and to anyone who has gifted me anything and whatnot. I deeply appreciate it. It's been a fun weekend and it's not even over yet, so that's always great. In the comments, I would love to know if you have read any of these books, or if you're planning on picking any of them up, or if there is somewhere where you would like me to start with any of these books so that you can hear about them sooner rather than later. Feel free to let me know down below. Otherwise, feel free to leave a gift emoji in the comments. I hope that wherever you're on the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.